How are we living, boys? This is your Briar build guide. I know with Split 3, it is getting increasingly tough to know the exact best build, so hopefully I can show you the situations in which you would build each one, and rune setups and everything that you need to know. Let's get right into it. Now, this is a pretty standard draft, so it's fair to both sides. Now, this is implying that both team comps have a tank top laner, skirmish jungler, mage, AD carry, and support that match their AD carry. Now, what would you do this game? Well, this one, you have to choose a job. Now, I think the most competitive thing to do here is frontline for your Syndra and Ashe and win. So you'd go these builds, so I'll pop them up. You could go Titanic into Edge of Night or Black Cleaver, as you can see there's 7 items there. Or you go Bork Black Cleaver. Both of them are fine. Black Cleaver is good into enemy team because you have another AD user, plus it's just good flat out stats for Briar. You'll be hitting Aatrox and Alistar mostly, so you get to chunk through them. Titanic helps you frontline for this team in case you're the focus for, Lee Sin, Q, and Ori Ball. But basically, Bruiser carries you in this fight. Now, I think something like Lethality would be terrible here because Kalista is very good at self-peeling. She has R and hops to get away. So I think that Lethality is bad here, and I think Crit can be good if you get everything working for you. The problem with Crit is look at how much interaction they have versus you. They have Lee Sin, R, they have full Aatrox kit, Ori Ball and kiting you, and then Kalista Alistar. So I think Crit is pretty bad here. So you need to focus up and really understand your job in a team fight. You need to simulate these fights, right? Malphite's going to go in, Syndra's going to follow up, maybe Ashar. So I think Bruiser is definitely the key to something more like this draft. And it is also worth noting that you could go Conqueror in this fight to try and frontline more. Conqueror gives you healing at the lack of damage. PTA gives you damage at killing these frontliners. Both of them are completely fine. I wouldn't go Halo Blades here because these fights are going to go long. These are very tanky teams. Halo Blades wants to kill people quickly. That is not an option against this team. So now let's talk about this one. So this game plays a little bit different, where your top laner gets counterpicked by Vayne, and then your bot lane is both Enchanter, AD carry duos. They have a tank jungler this time. So what build would you go? I would go these right here. You could slide into a Halo Blades type game. And what you do in this game is you try and just point and click ult someone, one tap them, and or let your team engage with Janinato, Ashe, R, Syndra QE, Malphite R, and stuff like that. You're playing follow-up assassin this game, and you're going to one-shot people. The only problem that you're going to have is if you pick these squishier builds, and then you go first, Skarner easy you to one, now you're nothing. You already died. These builds are super good here, and this is where you pivot between a crit and lethality enjoyer. So you both start going collector, which is good. But if you run out of money on second item, you're not going to go Infinity Edge. You're just going to go the cheaper longsword routes like Opportunity, Sorrel does. Well, not Sorrel the second, but Edge of Night or Profane, something like that. Yumus. And the idea is that when Hellblades procs, you want to one-tap someone with your team CC. So I think that is a very good option that you have is to go Lethality. The general rule of thumb, if you see 3 easy to access range champions, you go Halo Blades, Lethality, and you just tear open the lobby. But there's a little bit more to it. So now if you swap the Malphite for a Quinn, now you have no frontline. So going Lethality, although objectively correct against their champs, is not objectively correct with your champs. So now this would be a time, if I had this draft, I would go Titanic every time. And then it would be a lot different of a game because now I have to frontline. Despite their team, I still have to frontline or we can never play the game. Okay, now let's get into this. So this is if you're mid lane or jungle, you can do this. All these builds do apply. I will say runes get a little weird where Halo Blades isn't that good in lane, but I'll show you an example of this and you'll see this in the mid lane guide. So what about this draft right here? So you have Darius, you have Lilia, Jhin, Nautilus, right? But you're against 3 tanks being Skarner, Zac, Alistar, and so on. Well, if you look at this map, right, Darius isn't going to group that much. He doesn't want to team fight against this CC. He's probably going to split push. So then you have you, Lilia, Jhin to kill all these tanks. Let's say Zac rotates down and or you still have 2 tanks to kill through an Orianna shield. Now, the build here, I think, would be something like this, where you go an on-hit build with Blade of the Ruined King, Wit's End, Titanic, Black Cleaver, something like that, with lethal tempo, where your trade patterns are still fine. You're going to destroy Orianna in lane as long as you're not completely poked out. But your job becomes kill the tanks, because if you look at your 4v4, right? Lilia can kite the tanks, but can't always kill them really fast. You will kill them fast until she gets like 4 items, right? And Jin's not killing tanks at all. So that's when I think your job changes, is where you are now looking to kill the tanks on enemy teams so that your Lilia and Jhin can play the game a little bit more. And it's not going to feel that bad because once you stack up your lethal tempo, right, do W auto Q auto W2, maybe add a Titanic in there, go full stack, then shoot R, you are going to drop 2k extra damage, and lethal tempo in one fight's going to do more than PTA would do in this whole game. And it's not even an exaggeration. So that's where this kind of swaps, where you could play Bruiser and just play longer fights, but I think to take more of the game into your own hands, you swap lethal tempo, play this one, and this would work for jungle and top lane too. Okay, now let me take some time and just flat out teach you guys runes, because a lot of you struggle with runes, and admittedly they are kind of confusing. So let's start with, this would be a high damage PTA setup for any build really, but mostly the Bruiser builds. So if you like PTA, which is fine, right? This is pretty standard. You go this in most things. PTA, after you do your 3, does extra damage, leaves you with 8% extra damage too. Briar heals you and gives you some gold. Legend Haste only gives you ability haste for your QWE, but it helps you with your clear speed and even helps you in team fights getting 2 E's off, where attack speed might not be enough sometimes. And then coup de grace, you just make sure to kill people with W2. That's good. Your secondary options are domination secondary, where you, after using a dash or something, WQR, stuff like that, you'll do an extra bit of damage on a 10-second cooldown, which is cool. And then you have Treasure Hunter, which is, something that gives you more money, which helps you snowball and get more item spikes. Now, attack speed rune is more for the lethal tempo and conqueror setups because you need a little bit more help getting started. Whereas PTA actually likes to go adaptive force and just do a good chunk, maybe short trade and not. So it depends on the type of play that you're going for, but this is pretty standard for a high damage PTA setup. Now this is a consistent setup for PTA is you swap to free boots. That way, so here, right, Treasure Hunter gives you the money to get these boots for free, and then your power spikes for free. But this ensures that you don't need to snowball. You just get 300 gold for the free with an extra 10 MS. And then Cosmic Insight, I think, is really broken. Why? Because, one, if you buy Titanic with PTA setup, you get the item haste, which is good. Same thing with Steric's item haste is good. And then Summoner Spell Haste. So Summoner Spell Haste basically means that your Summoner spells obviously are in reduced cooldown. Now the cool thing about that is now your 300 second flash is now 240-ish, meaning that if we're a dragon fight, I flash on you and I kill you, right? We both flash away from each other. Bam, I still kill you. Next dragon fight, I have 1 second timer to kill you for free because now you don't have flash. And I'm the type of guy, I'm going to try and make big plays out of that, especially knowing it and tracking your timer. So this is why I think this is the most consistent. It gives you the most options. And there's almost no real drawbacks to this. So I like this the best for PTA jungle. Now, if you're lane Briar Joy that likes PTA, all you do is you swap to Resolve. Now, Resolve is pretty simple. You are only going to go basically 5 of these in all of the 9 choices, okay? If you're going anything in the top row, it's Demolish. Demolish just makes you deal more damage to turrets, helps you with split pushing because Briar sometimes, is a little rough with that. And it's more of like a kind of win more or a split push kind of thing. It is not as good as the other 2. Now, in the second row, you have Second Wind. When you take damage, you'll just heal. It's good for poke matchups. And then you have Bone Plating, which is after taking damage, the next 3 things that hit you will deal reduced damage. This is against burst people. Stuff like people that want to fight you really hard, like Akali can be one of them, in mid-game once you hit 6. Things like Darius that want to just kill you flat out. Bone Plating is exactly good. And then you have Overgrowth. Overgrowth basically just gives you around 300 HP for free. So it's a rune that gives you, Ruby Crystal at 2. Not too bad. Or you'd go Revitalize, which helps with heal and shield power. So either Steric's or just healing because that's your kit. So you'd go one of these 5. And you basically end up going this most of the time because, you're going to be in poked out lanes. But this would be your PTA setup for top and mid lane. Now, you can swap to any of these. If you're truly bad with managing your health, go Fleet. Fleet's really good. I'll make a video about this. I think it's really good. Conqueror, if you want to go more of a longer fight, against like a tank that you want to short combo, right? W auto Q auto W2 and then ult them really fast and then stack this up, but you're scared that they might out damage you, then this would help you heal. And the lethal tempo if you're against a tank that you just, you want to make sure that you kill them for free. You do something like this, but this is your basic. Every single lane you're going something like this, swapping these if you're going to get all in this and if you're going to get poked this, and that is it. Now this is the setup that I like for lethality and for crit, depending on the secondaries, but we've already gone through them. It's a Tail of Blades. It makes you do a ton of autos really fast. You can go this in lane, but it is worse than the precision ones. But if it's for your build, then you can get that value back by, playing the build correctly against the team. All three of these are actually pretty good in mid lane. Dark Harvest is really good for lethality if you want to all in for it, but it's definitely not the best. Electrocute's best for AP, and or if you're just trying to go for like QE trades in lane. All in all, I think PTA would just flat out do better. But if you enjoy the domination tree, then there are options here. It's just most of them are outclassed by precision by a small margin, or maybe even a medium-sized margin. But if it's for your build and it counters enemy team, you'd probably go it, and it wouldn't be too bad. I would go something like this, and then swap to Resolve if I was in lane, and or this if I was just playing jungle, or something like this if I was playing jungle. This every single time. Now, this would just be a constant yap about runes to try and help you guys. So stuff like this is not very good. Glacial, slowing people down more. You already get speed up towards them, so you don't really need to slow them anymore. Unsealed Spellbook needs to be removed for the game reworked. First Strike gives you some gold when you enter a fight and a little bit of extra damage. Really not that good, and you're not trying to really generate gold as Briar to get a huge advantage. You're trying to just kill people, so you want to double down on that. You have stuff like Grasp. If you like the Heart Seal top lane Grasp build, that'll just give you like 10k health for free. You'd go something like this. And you'd be super tanky, right? And you could maybe pivot here or here. And this is cool for a tank build. I like Aftershock for support Briar. I think it's really good. I don't like Guardian that much. The blue tree right here, Sorcery Tree, is pretty good. Airy and Common are kind of cope. I don't think they're that good. Phase Rush definitely has a spot. It is one of the least explored ones of the good side of runes. As you probably tell from the Korean rank 1 Briar video. You can tell this one's pretty good, and Sorcery has a ton of good secondary options like Nimbus, nullifying if they have AP, of course, Celerity for more movement speed. Like, you could hit something like this, where once you hit the river, you are dropping 500 MS with Blue Smite, and you are running through. I think Phase Rush is really bad for lane. So mostly if you're playing lane things, you're going to be going... if you're playing Briar, rather, you're going to be going a lot of these more precision-based trees. Resolve always secondary if you're playing lane, mid or top lane. Resolve or Inspiration is some of the best for consistency, which is what I'm about. I think if you can get into game and you can get into situations that you've been into before and then beat people with the kind of experience that you have in those, that's the type of game I want to play because it's the easiest to learn from. Right? For something like this, like you could run this every single game right here, one of these two. You could run this every single game in jungle and learn something really fast about it, and then just start messing with these as you want. Oh, I find that I want a little bit more damage. All right, swap this, start buying your boots, you're good, right? And it's not crazy to think like this. I think building consistency is really important. So find runes in a build that work for you, and then become the best at it, learn it, beat people down with your experience, and that's how you win these things. I'm serious. What's the phrase, right? Are you scared of the guy that knows 10,000 punches or did one punch 10,000 times? It's one punch 10,000 times every time. So there you go. Hopefully this helps. Let's get into game. How we living, boys? We are in here. Now we're going to talk about itemization a little bit more. So I showed you what to do. Now I'm going to show you traditional Bruiser game. Why Bruiser for this video? Because, well, it's just the best build overall for every match. So gotta learn about it. Now, we did an invade on bot side, and we found Pike. As you can see, you watch me drown, has a death. No one used anything. He just walked into the bush and died. And I didn't click record because I was too busy setting up everything, so now I'm behind on my clear by 2 seconds. But who cares? Lock it in. We're going to learn about some itemization. You already learned everything about it. Now, let's talk about when to go Bork and when to go Bork by Cleaver or Titanic by Cleaver, right? So something like this, right? This super squishy team, this is a Titanic game. Why? Because Bork does more damage to tanks. So they don't really have a tank. So why would we go Bork? We're not going to. So we're going to slide in. We're going to grab the Titanic here. And Titanic's going to give us good burst windows. So I'm going to hopefully highlight those. And then we're going to pivot. Now, if they don't have a lot of armor for second item, then you can go something more damaging like Sundered Sky. Second, right? Titanic Sundered Sky would be pretty good. Or you can lock in the Black Cleaver if you just want to be traditional Briar. Now, the thing about Black Cleaver is better against tanks because you get to do the thing, right? You get to do the reduce their armor for your team. So if this person goes AD and this person 100%, right? It's good to have Black Cleaver. Well, it's also just good to have Black Cleaver for yourself because of the way Bleed interacts with your kit, just permanently keeping him down, and the fact that it's just a good Briar item. It has ability, haste, health, AD, everything that you need to know. Or everything that you need to have. Do it to him. Do it to him. It looks like we can't lose that. He lived. Alright, well, at least we didn't lose it. So yeah, that's everything that you need to know. So again, Bork when you're against tanks, and you can go Titanic when you're against squishies. What if you like Eclipse by Cleaver? Eclipse by Cleaver is for skirmishing bruiser build, right? So you're going to take Hail Blades and you're going to try and skirmish with enemy jungler. So right here, we're not going to try and skirmish with Graves that much. What we're going to do is we're going to try and take confirm plays to kill Graves. So like right here, this looks confirmed because I have mid prio, right? Where's the bleed at? I wanted to W2, but we can just put him into the wall there. See if we can bait Talia's spells for my team here. Okay, I trolled. She outplayed me so bad. I thought she ran up, not down, so that was really smart. Get cooked. Just kidding, that's not good. Nice. I got cooked there. I have no problem saying it. I kind of cooked him there, if you think about it. So, to be honest, I was too busy talking and yapping. I should have just been more locked. My bad. But I'm completely locked in now. There's just so much to say, man. I got to try and play, right? This is my highest rank account. I got to play my highest rank account's Elo, okay? Play jungle, explain everything, and do a bunch of stuff. And sometimes it proves too much for me. But I'm getting better at it, right? Anyone that has followed my content grind, if you know anything about me, I've only been doing this, content stuff for about 11 months. So, you guys probably have a something that you like to do, pottery or whatever it is, and right, you're probably a goated 3-year-in vet of pottery, right? So you can probably do it while talking to other people, but sometimes, dude, sometimes it's a lot, man. League's a tough game, and people refuse to say that. This game is tough, and that's why I'm making videos like this, because itemization is a part of this game that is very tough. It's not always obvious. So let's go right into it. Let's just talk about items, right? Now let's talk about your MR options, right? So Wit's End being, the follow-up to Spirit Visage, right? So Wit's End gives you attack speed, magic resist, tenacity, and on-hit damage. But it doesn't give you AD, and it doesn't give you ability haste or health. So it's like, it is all of the stats that aren't your best stats. So it needs to be used in complement of other things. And then something like, some of y'all's favorites, Collector right now. Can you go Collector into Bruiser? Yeah, you can. You definitely can. Eclipse, or rather Collector into Bruiser is kind of like what Eclipse by Cleaver is. It's a skirmishing Bruiser build that doesn't have very much tankiness early, but buys into it later on. So it's kind of just the same thing, but a little bit different. I think I just got Lycan. Where's this Pike at? Oh, Pike's gone. See if we can find Graves. Generally speaking, he shouldn't be here, but he could snuck Dragon, maybe. No? Nice. Alright, there he is. So we're on the same farm, so that's good. We're going to look for Teemo here, if possible. Okay. Well, Alistar just trolled us. I mean, it's okay. We'll make it work, but Alistar... honestly, you always go chin up and think about things positively, right? That was gold reset at 5 deaths, so really good, I guess. Right? Like, so Teemo was going to be 0-5 there. We just got gold reset. I guess that's fine. I wish I had coordinated that. That would have been really smart. But yeah, no, I mean, he said sorry, right? He knew he kind of trolled. He pivots under the turret. I hop over the wall, and he's like, oh, wait, you're Briar. You can't just turn around. Nice. So yeah, Spirit Visage is always your best magic resist item. And you want to buy it as many times as you can, especially if you go Sterix, right? Sterix Spirit Visage is the combo. Let's see. What's this Graves cooldowns look like? So he could try and invade us here, so we're going to pull this in here. Now, he's the only one that's getting fed, right? He has almost every kill on his team, so he might be able to skirmish with us right now, but not forever. Good. Okay, now when do you buy Sterix or Death's Dance? Well, Death's Dance counters burst, but so does Sterix. The thing about it is, right, like, Death's Dance counters burst, but it gives you armor. That's cool. But Sterix blocks both magic resist, or magic damage and armor. So they're different. They do different things. Yeah, there's like no way they ever win that, by the way. Might be able to kill here if we can get some mid-pro. He doesn't have ward? Oh yeah, he does. He could try and chase us down, but we would then fight him for it. So that's fine. He could look this crab. We would see him over the wall with this W, so that's what this W is doing. Him getting his Gromp is not illegal. It's completely fine because Camille has first rotate. Now we're looking here. We don't really need to. If their mid goes to chase, then we would just try and hover mid. Looks like we're doing just fine right now. Now that Silas shows, you know their mid lane's going to push. So what we're going to do is we're going to smite here and just walk and come and catch this wave for him. That way there's no plates or minions dying for free. Nice. Good. Getting this Titanic matters most. I don't think this game's going to go very long, I'm going to be honest. My bot lane's doing super well. That fight down here, I wish I'd played it better because I could take more credit for it, but that was mostly them, right? I hopped up out of the bed, I got my 1 and, you know, traded for 2, but, I mean, what if I killed 5, you know? But yeah. So then let's talk about the other builds. Like, so lethality is better at killing one single target, right? And crit is better at killing multiple targets through 1W. Now the problem is the top end of crit is that like very little interaction with crit, and you kind of have to reset all your cooldowns, which sucks. Whereas lethality, you're able to build more defensive items like Edge of Night plus GA in one build. So you have a lot more of a buffer for the counterplay that the enemy team can do to you and you know, mess up your gameplay. So lethality is better at killing one single target. So if you like that gameplay, that's good. Crit's better at killing whole teams if you pick your W spots very correctly. Bruisers is standard, you know, that's what Briar's supposed to be in Riot's eyes. And then you have AP. AP is definitely more of like a, you know, you got to be a little bit different to pull it off. I'm not gonna lie. It's real. I would say it's real, and I could, you know, I mean, I've got masters with it, so, you know, if anyone wants to say, you know, hey, AP, you could never get AP to this and that, dude, you know, again, only take advice from people that are in a spot that, you know, you want to be in. So if I'm in a spot that you want to be in, let me tell you, you can get masters with AP. It's not even a question to me. It's quite actually very obvious to me. I didn't expect my Urgot to TP, so they will never step up, so that's just a bad R. I'm going to deny this guy, right? He's trying to get mid-prio, so I'm going to deny that. Looks like he's also playing for these grubs. Hit tab and see that. So he's probably getting the crab right now. So I concede the crab to him, or rather, I don't concede, I trade the crab for this mid-prio and then slide right over to him. If he blasts one of the grubs, goes to 4, that's fine. That means that he won't be able to fight me for 5 and 6, which he knows that, so that's good. So there we go, we got that. Again, Graves hates this situation. Now we just kill him. Yeah, unfortunately, right, he knew it, but maybe just like, you know, thinks the game's a little bit chalked, and I get that. So going to 4 was really good. But then staying for 5 and 6, that's not it at all. Talia goes here, I just hop the wall, right? She's gonna throw her spells at some point. There you go. I mean, they are not cooking with these spells. I'm up. Dude, look at my farm. Oh my god. Jungle's OP? Nice. So we covered crit, lethality, bruiser, AP, And then you have your guys' like cook me up builds. Hey Logan, I've been doing lethal tempo this and that, and it's like, dude, I have checked out and played the most builds of any Briar player on Earth. That's not even close, right? And more so, I've also documented it. You can check how many builds I played in YouTube videos. It's like over 20. And yeah, I mean, like I don't think those builds are like bad inherently. I just think it's important to acknowledge that, you know, she's meant to be a bruiser. So your best case scenario would be to be a bruiser in most cases. Right? But if you're not a bruiser, then you just need to be really good at whatever you're doing. Right? So if you're doing a high damage build, you better be picking spots to do that. You know? I don't think items really matter that much. I think items matter as much as you make them matter, right? Because if you're going to build incorrectly every game, just be in the right spot. I mean, simply put. People will definitely over-focus on it. Like, if you're sub-diamond, your items in your inventory do not matter. As long as you know what they do. Nice. Good. So this game is like support Briar, right? I have 7 assists, 0 kills. If I put it right there, that's the only place that he can walk through, so of course that's a hit. Camille tries to do anything, she's in the wall. Pike is walking to me, so I need to walk away. Biggest Briar tip, if you haven't seen the ultimate video, there you go. I mean, I straight up proved that I live by that stuff. You could beat Camille in a fight, but I think she literally just walks away from you here. Watch this. Right, IW to her. Q, auto W, or auto Titanic, and then try and smite W2 to catch up. And then you're just that slow. Like, you just can't do anything. Well, at least I knew it was worthless. Oh, good. It's fine. To be honest, this game is kind of already won. So you get to reinforce some learning stuff right there. Like, times like that, I don't get too mad. Like, a lot of people wonder, like, why aren't you mad when you die like that? And it's like, dude, I just reinforced that I knew what I was, I knew what would happen before it happened. And that's knowledge, right? That's all you need. You want to win these games, just know what the situation will look like before it happens. And then pick the situation that is good for you, of course. Sure, I'll walk to Rift. I'd rather just farm up, but get on the map, start fighting, start doing some cool stuff. So yeah, hopefully we understand itemization a little bit more. But again, I can't make it any more obvious. Like, just play your favorite build. Just play your favorite build. Hey, what is the best secret tech, this and that? Like, dude. Cut the BS, man. Cut the BS. The best build is pretty much like the ones that people are winning on. So, on this account, Logan Jungle, this is my highest ranked account. And this one I'm playing, almost entirely Bork by Cleaver. On my main Logan Jungle, right, I have 100% win rate, and I think I'm Diamond 2. In that one, I'm playing nothing but Titanic. So that goes to show, right, that Bork by Cleaver and Titanic first are, like, disgustingly cracked builds right now. So those would obviously be the best. And then people talk about, like, hey, when do you go lethality? Well, I'd go lethality in a game that I was maining lethality, which I've done before. But more so, you can always just look at it like if they have, 3 to 4 squishy, 3 to 5 squishies, then go lethality, right? And if they have, 3 or 4 tanks, do not go lethality. Or go lethality regardless, because it really doesn't matter that much. Wow, they're walking up. They're stepping up in this fight. We got like a bloodbath going on right here. Talia has spells soon, so I'm just gonna hold my E key until I see her spells and then try and do that. Oh, she's in the wall though. But you eat into a rock that you couldn't really see though. Oh, good try. My Keza has flash. What's bro doing? Get in there, man. And then there's other people that are like, well, Logan, can you do these halfway build splits? So, like, right now, right, if I had 7 kills, if that was 7-3-4, right, and I felt like I was lacking damage, well, one, like, Bruiser's not meant to one-shot stuff. If you're able to one-shot stuff, cool. But it's not meant to. It's meant to drain tank in a way that you can always kill them and they can't kill you. So, as long as, you know, I'm stronger than you, I can just walk forward, right? But you can do these build splits where you just, you know, pivot into damage later if you think that's the best for the game. Like right now, these people are kind of living, right? So I do need more damage. So yeah, you can just go collector right now. You just have to know it, right? You have to be the one to know it. You're the one that's playing this, you know, build. If this is what you do, 2 bruiser items into collector, or collector into 2 bruiser items, whatever. You just have to know your damage and then make informed decisions of the game based off the build that you like best. So yeah, I think I've yapped enough. So let's focus on this game here. TLDR, build what you want, just know what you do, and that's it. Good gameplay trumps everything. If anyone tells you otherwise, they're coping and wrong. And that's it. Ow, bro. I got collected. I could have eaten it any time. I just didn't realize that he had collector. Even though I saw he had Yuma's collector. I forgot about it. I was too busy yapping. Bam, 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 bam. So like right there, I wanted to go collector. Now I'm just going to pivot into Edge of Night. It's like, screw it. Give me a little bit more tankiness, damage, and spell shield. And it's like, and then what if I decide that, I don't feel like building this. Let me go something else. Yeah, just go something else. Oh, maybe Sundered Sky, actually, you know. Nice. All right, let's focus. Dude, that blind on Kaisa lasted forever, it felt like. Ooh. That was actually clean, bro. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Dude, I'm in chill Logan posture right now. To be honest, when you play Briar in these games where everyone just kind of gets all the kills and you don't, you just kind of have to play supporting character. So as you can see right now, I'm not stepping up into the jungle. I'm waiting for my bot lane to recall. If I had 10 kills, you know, if that was 7, you know, 3-5 or whatever, 7-5-3, I would be happier to make solo plays, but you have to understand your strength, right? Like, this Graves is probably up a good, like, 900 gold on me currently. And maybe a little more just because shutdowns, but... so obviously we can't check him unless we have like full advantage beforehand, maybe full charge E, something like that. So it's important to know that, you know, this game I'm more a supporting character, so I'm just going to follow the people that are going to get me to win. And I have no ego doing that. Why? Because I win. And that's what I'm playing for. I'm playing for wins. Just give me that. Give me this. We're in there. Okay. We should definitely be looking to fight here. We're definitely way stronger. Nice. I can definitely find an angle here. Nice. Not gonna get collected this time, hopefully. Try and dodge his R if he decides to do it. Looking good. They can probably play for end. I'm just going to get Dragon just in case. Because if they can end, it's going to be possible without me. I do recommend just walking to the Nexus here, but I have a good read on this game, I think, so I'm just going to do this. And as you can see, they very clearly end, but just in case they didn't, we grab an extra soul point. And there you go. So there's your itemization yapping of the evening. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. And is the camera in the way? No? Maybe a little bit, like right here. I can move the client. But yeah, there you go. So like if you were borked by Cleaver there, you better be last taking some kills because you are not getting that win. Because once the enemy team starts blasting you, yeah, you ain't hitting nothing. So D2 right now, 59 LP, chilling. They're doing a bunch of yapping, it's whatever. Took a ton of damage, oh my god. Nice, check the runes out. Standard stuff. Nice, there we go, peace.